ladies and gentlemen, to another game of
Blood for the Blood God.
Dude, chill. This is SoloHammer. But yes, in today's game, we are playing Khorne versus Orkz, which is something you guys really wanted to see. Now, you guys wanted to see a melee-heavy armies go toe-to-toe. My Orkz struggle with melee because only one of them is actually designated to melee, and the war boss. Also, I was looking through old sprues for my Orkz, and the sprue that I got from my Slugger Boys is missing, so I'm missing bits. Which is very annoying, because I wanted to make Ludas out of the extra shooter and rocket launcher that it comes with. Anyway, so how points worked out, this is a 484 army versus a 487 army. That is how points came out. I was trying to get up to 500, but I'm happy with what we got. Starting with the CSM, we've got 2 units of 5 Khorne Berserkers, a Rhino with a Stormbolter, our Lord who's wielding 2 swords. He has Mark of Khorne, he's got demonic armor, so he has a 2-up save, and he's got like 5 attacks. That's just how yeah. And then a unit of 10 Chaos Space Marines, because I wanted at least one more troop choice, because that's a lot of green. Speaking of green, we've got a 20 Orc Boys, all with shooters. We have a truck filled with Slugger Boys. We have our Dreadnought, which is just as you can see him. He's 80 points, 70 plus the 5 points for his Twin Link Scorches, and then the War Boss. He's got his Power Claw, his Big Shooter. I was able to give him his Mega Armor, so he's gonna have a 2-up save as well. So let's see how this mash goes.
Red is for Khorne.
I mean, red is for Chaos Space Marines, blue is for Orcs. Let's see who goes first. Of course, for Khorne. Also, all the Khorne models also have the Khornate chainsaw thingy, so if a model had like a save less than like 4, or like a 3 or lower, it gets reduced to like 4. But that's only going to work on maybe the War Boss and maybe the Dread, but we're not worried about that yet. Time for movement. We're just going to move these guys up through here, because I want to get them into combat as soon as possible. Well, I want the entire army to get in combat as soon as possible. Hopefully. I'm also going to move up the Rhino, just so I can get line of sight. So I forgot, 4 of those Khorne Berserkers are actually in the Rhino, so yeah. Alright, everything's moved up. Let's see if anything can shoot. The only model that's actually in range of anything is the Stormbolter, and so we're going to fire that into the group of Orcs, hitting on 3s. Never mind. Khorne is not going to like the fact that we didn't get anything on the first turn, but we move on to Orcs. This is a big mat, so yeah. First things first for the movement, we're just going to take the truck, pivot, and give it its full 12 inches. And then we're going to disengorge a bunch of Orcs. The Orcs are out of the truck, and then we move on to the rest of the army. War Boss is going to move up his 6 inches, try to get into range with his Big Shooter. The Orc is actually going to come up, the Dreadnought is actually going to move up to here, because they want to see if I can actually deal with those Marines. We kind of want to stay away from the front arm of that tank. I don't think I have anything to actually do anything to that tank. Yeah. Alright, now that the armors have moved up, let's see if anything can actually shoot. Okay, so we do have some weapons that can actually hit the side armor, or the armor of the truck. So the Big Shooter on the truck can actually fire into the side armor of the Rhino. So hitting on 5s, if it hits. Alright, 1 is nice. Okay, so it's strength 5 versus 11. So I need to roll a 6 to actually hit it. Nope, nothing happens. The War Boss is going to fire his Big Shooter into this unit of CSM, hitting on 5s. I really wish there was a way to buff 3rd edition Orcs, because the fact that they can't hit below a 5 with their shooter, I blame Andy Chambers. Jovis, you can't blame Andy Chambers. He admitted it in a video I saw the other day that he deliberately nerfed the shooting of orcs for third. Ugh. The big shooter in this orc unit is going to fire into them, hitting on 5s. Strength 5 against toughness 4, so 3s to wound. 1 wound. 3 save. On the board. He lives. Alright, movement's done, shooting's done, can't really charge anything just yet, so we move on to Khorne, turn 2. This is going to get deadly. We're going to have this unit move over here and start shooting. We're going to have the Khorne Berserkers in there disembark, and then we're going to move the tank. We're going to have that unit move forward as well. Well, they're going to move towards the midboard, actually. And then we're going to have the Lord move up as well. Alright, 2 shots from the Stormbolter into that unit of Orcs, hitting on 3s. Strength 4 against toughness 4, so wounding on 4s. 6-up save for the Orc boys. 1 dies. 10 shots from the Chaos Space Marines into the boys, hitting on 3s. Strength 4 against toughness 4, so wounding on 4s. 3-up save. Actually, no, 6-up save. They're Orcs. Alright, 2 die. Alright, so the Khorne Berserkers don't like the fact that there's a truck in the way. They're going to try to get rid of it. All 10 bolt pistols into the side armor of the Orc truck, hitting on 3s. Oh, that's a lot of 1s. Penetrating on 6s, because they're strength 5. Actually, no, strength 4. Yeah. 6s to penetrate. I got 1. Cool. It's a glancing hit, so what do we get? 6! Holy mulligan. Vehicle destroyed. Oh, no. Well, at least it's not at least like complete annihilation, where it's like the 6-inch destruction. It's just gone. This will allow this unit of Khorne Berserkers and the Lord to charge into that unit. Our Warlord dual-wielding swords has 5 attacks placed, plus 1 for the charge. And so he gets 6 attacks, hitting on 3s. Why? Strength 4 against toughness 4, so 3s to wound. 1 wound. 6-up save. 1 orc dies. And then the rest of the Khorne Berserkers go off on it. They have 2 attacks each. Plus 1 for the charge. And there's 3 of them. That's 3 times 5. That's 15 attacks. Alright, 4s to hit. Get on the table. Okay. Strength 4 against toughness 4, so 4s to wound. Okay. 5 6-up saves. And 5 die. The Orcs attack back, hitting on 4s. Okay, wounding on 4s. Nothing. Alright, so the Orcs lost that combat dreadfully. So they will need to take a leadership test at -3, because it's 3 to 1. So gotta roll lower than a 4 on 2 dice. Okay. How far are they running? Okay, that's 10. Can we catch up to them? You can! Okay, that unit's destroyed. At the end of Khorne turn 2, they will get 1 point by deleting a unit. Let's see how Orcs do in their turn 2. The War Boss is unimpressed, so he moves up, and everything else will follow suit. Alright, everything's moved up. Time to fire. It is now time to absolutely unload everything the Orcs have to offer into these Chaos Space Marines. Starting with the boys. First of all, this big shooter into these lads. Hitting on 5s. Please hit on something. Never mind. The War Boss's big shooter into the Lord, hitting on 5s. Never mind. 9 shots from the boys, hitting into the Space Marines on 5s. Thank you. That's lovely. That's really nice, actually. Strength 4 versus toughness 4, so wounding on 4s. 2 wounds. Nice. 3-up save. Alright, 1 goes down. This unit of Orcs are going to fire into this unit of Khorne Berserkers, hitting on 5s. That's a fair amount. Wounding on 4s. Thank you. You're so polite. And a 3-up save. I can't see. You're holding it. It's a 6. Alright then, I'm gonna have the Dreadnought fire its twin Scorches at you. The first Scorcher is hitting 3 dudes, and the second Scorcher hits the rest of the unit, as it should be. 3s to wound. 3 wounds. 3 save. 1 dies. It is now the charge phase. Everything that wants to charge will charge, and that's the majority of them. This unit into that unit, him into that, those into them. Yes. Alright, we're going to start this mess. The CSM is going to be going first because they're faster. So hitting on 4s. Hitting on 4s. Alright, 1 6 up save. York die. So 8 of them are in combat. They get 2 attacks plus 1 for the charge. Time 3 times 8. A handful of dice. Hitting on 4s. Nice. And then wounding on 4s. Alright, not bad. 3 up save. Oh, 2 go down. Okay, so Space Marines. Guess Space Marines lost that. Now I move on to that. Khorne Berserkers go first. They have 2 attacks each, hitting on 4s. Wounding on 4s. Alright. 6 up save. No, 1 dies. A handful of attacks from the Orkz hitting back on 4s. On 4s. And then 5 3-up saves. And they're all fine. Alright. The Orkz lost that combat. And now I move on to this one. Time for this match. The Khorne Lord is going to go first. He has the higher initiative. Plus, he's got the big old claw, so he ain't gonna move first. But it's 5 attacks hitting on. Well, let's go 5 against 4s. 4s to hit. 3 hits. Strength 4 against toughness 4, so 4s to wound. Wound. The Khornate Axe, Chain Axe, reduces the save from a 2-up to a 4-up. So 4-up save. And he's fine. Orc Warboss is not entertained by the little cord man standing on his little platform with his little imp as he has a strength 10 melee attack. Hitting on 4s. Wounding on 2s. Oh yeah, and that's instant death. The war boss releases a mighty wog as he destroys the Khornate Lord. Actually bring the score 3-1. Huh, Orcs are in the lead. Let's see how long that lasts with these 2 things that we need leadership checks on. These Chaos Space Marines are at -1 to leadership, so 8 and below, please. They are fine. The Orc boys are at -1 to their leadership, so it's a 6 and below. Nope, they are running. How far do they run? 7 inches. Can we catch them? Yes, that unit is destroyed. Well, at the end of Ork's turn 2, they were able to get a lot more points by going and destroying the Lord. It is now time for the last turn of Khorne turn 3. Yeah. In the movement phase, we're going to move that unit towards the war boss so that they all can just clamor on in. I'm wondering, can you do tank shock into a dreadnought? So tank shock requires a morale test. And an Orc dreadnought has no morale. It has no leadership. So no running into the no running it for you. So I'm just gonna leave him there. I don't know what to do with it. Moving on to the shooting phase. These 5 lads are gonna fire into the war boss. 9 shots hitting on 3s. Yikes. 4s to wound. All wound. 2-up save. He succeeds all of his saves. Alright, they're gonna now charge everything they have into the war boss. That would be terrifying. Okay. Well, the Space Marines go first. 4 against 5, so 4s to wound, 4s to hit. Alright. 4 against toughness 4, so 4s to wound. That's a lot better. Now the chainsaws reduce his armor from 2 to 4. So he has a 4-up save. And he needs to fail 3 of these to die. He's dead. A victorious war cry screams out, "Blood for the blood god," as the orc war boss is just shredded. So, I kind of wish there was a rule that if they're able to defeat something in combat and they can consolidate into a different combat. So I hope you enjoy your victory while it lasts, because we gotta see how this fight goes out. Space Marines go first, 6 of them hitting on 4s. 9 wounding on 4s. Better. 6 up save. Nope, 2 die. 14 attacks from the orcs hitting on 4s. Not bad. Wounding on 4s. Love. And 3 up save. They're all fine. Alright. The orcs will have to see if they run. Leadership test. -1, so 6. Did succeed. Alright, that is the last for Khorne turn 3. Now we go to Ork's turn 3, and the only thing he can move is the Dreadnought. So let's see if we can get the Flamer down here. Okay, so we moved him up, and the first Flamer he's going to use will cover that side of the unit, and the second Flamer he uses will cover the other half, if, you know, the template will cooperate. Alright, so it's 9 attack, strength 5 against toughness 4, so it's 3s to wound. Alright, all but one. Also 3 up save, so... Alright, 2 die. He will then charge into that unit, because he's got nothing else to do. So, the Marines cannot hit his front armor of 12 no matter what they did. And their chainswords don't really affect his save, because he's a vehicle. And, yeah, he's just going to do his attack. Alright, 4 attacks hitting on 4s. Strength 4 against toughness 4, so 4 is to wound. 2 more wounds. 3 up save. Nope, 1 dies. And now we get ready to do this last combat. Yeah. This is a mess. So with that failure of a combat done, let's move on to this one. Chaos Space Marines. Forced to hit. Forced wound. That's better. 6 up save. 2 more orcs die. The orcs back into the Marines, hitting on 4s. That's better. Wounding on 4s. Okay. And 3 up save. No, 3 die. Okay. Okay. Alright, so the Space Marines, you will need to take a leadership check because they did lose that fight at -1, so 8 and below. That is 9. They are running. How far are they running? Ooh, okay, 8 inches. Do the orcs catch them? No. Well, they might have lost the combat, but they didn't get destroyed. So, no points for the orcs. They weren't able to destroy this unit, so they're stuck at 3 points, while the Chaos Space Marines with the Coronate Taste are at 5 points. Meaning this is a victory for Khorne. I think I see why people wanted me to play this game, because orcs have so many attacks when they charge. A basic boy has 2 attacks base, plus 1 from the charge. That's 3 attacks, and there's like a mob of like 10 of them. That's, at most, if you get them all in there, that's 30 attacks. Although you're not going to really get 30 attacks if they're all just, you know how it is. But that's an insane amount. And Khorne, they have 2 attacks base with a Berserker, plus 1 for charge. So they're basically the same model, just with different like outcomes, because 6 up save versus 3 up saves. It's the same, like, basic thing of strength 4 and toughness 4. So it's fun as hell. In any case, thank you for watching. Comment down below what you thought of today's game. And I'll see you mad lads in the next SoloHammer. Bye.